For more, let's bring in former federal prosecutor Katie Cherkasky. Katie, welcome.
Thank you.
So that anti-Israel activist Mahmud Khalil walked out of a detention facility in Louisiana last night. How do you assess that court action?
Well, the Khalil case is very interesting because there's multiple processes going on at the same time. So his release from detention doesn't have anything directly to do with whether he will, in fact, be deported. And in fact, the deportation case is proceeding. He was, in fact, denied asylum. So this judge's decision to release him was just for the purpose of pending the rest of the immigration proceedings. And clearly, I think it's far outside of the discretion that this judge should have. The immigration process is something that the courts, including the Supreme Court, have said are within the sole discretion, essentially, of the executive branch. And a determination that someone's presence is, in fact, adverse to our foreign policy should be the beginning and end of that analysis. Nothing to do, really, with the First Amendment under those circumstances.
An appeals court has ruled that President Trump can retain control of the National Guard forces he sent into Los Angeles to deal with the rioting. Vice President J.D. Vance weighed in on that. Let's play him, and I'll get you to react.
The president has a very simple proposal to everybody in every city, every community, every town, whether big or small. If you enforce your own laws and if you protect federal law enforcement, we're not going to send in the National Guard because it's unnecessary. But if you let violent rioters burn great American cities to the ground, then of course we're going to send federal law enforcement in to protect the people.
What's your analysis of the National Guard from the legal perspective?
Well, I couldn't agree more with Vice President Vance. This was a most obvious case here. The president is, in fact, the commander in chief, and the idea that he can use the National Guard and essentially federalize those troops to enforce the law when there's clearly threats and direct assaults on federal officers carrying out the enforcement of federal law. That seems like a very clear-cut example of exactly what that power is for. And so the Ninth Circuit, which is traditionally considered a liberal-leaning court, unanimously agreed that the president does, in fact, retain that authority. And I think it was very obvious from a legal analysis standpoint.
All right, if it's late June, you know it's crunch time at the United States Supreme Court. And in a 6-3 ruling, the High Court delivered what's being called a fatal blow to transgender surgeries on minors. Any surprises there?
Well, based on the arguments, I think that we knew that the court was looking at this transgender issue, essentially whether minors could receive certain medication for gender dysphoria. And what the court said was that this really had nothing to do with gender at all, that this was a prohibition on certain medications being used on minors that didn't have specified medical conditions. So from a legal standpoint, they said it was very clear that this was not something that the states didn't have authority over. And so I think that is going to be tough to overcome considering the court's analysis here, although it was confined to the specific way the law was worded. It didn't single out transgender people specifically. It was based on the age and the medical conditions.
This is expected to be a huge week at the Supreme Court. We've got a list of 5 pending cases that seem to be particularly big: birthright citizenship, a religious liberty case, one dealing with the First Amendment, an election redistricting case, and then one on the spending clause. How do you see these pending cases, and which ones are you waiting for with great anticipation?
Well, I think the big case, obviously, is this birthright citizenship interpretation, and that has to do much with the national universal injunctions that these lower courts have been using. But at the heart of it is really the question about whether the 14th Amendment does, in fact, automatically guarantee citizenship to any person born here, regardless of the legal immigration status of their parents. And that's something that has never been ruled upon. It's been presumed. So that's going to be incredibly interesting to see what the court does with that case. And then, of course, the question about the parents' right to control whether their children receive certain education in a curriculum. I think that we expect another win. And President Trump has been winning at the Supreme Court. At this point, I believe he's at about 11 of 13 victories from all these lower courts that have overturned his policies. So that tells us a lot. And I think the proof is in the pudding that he is on the right side of the Constitution.
We don't know exactly, but would you expect birthright citizenship to be the final one of this session?
Well, I know that the court realizes that people are anxiously anticipating that, and so I certainly wouldn't be surprised.
Katie Cherkasky, thank you so much for your time and your analysis today.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.